Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to an exciting episode of CSGO News. As always, let's get right into it. And first off, in really big CSGO news, especially if you guys are SK fans or follow them at all, they will be playing DreamHack Summer this coming weekend from June 18th to the 21st, but they'll be doing without one of their better riflers, Magiskboy. He actually has school exams or university exams. He will not be able to attend this weekend, so good for him knowing priorities, but unfortunately he will be replaced. Now, he will be replaced by a player by the name of Glaive, a guy who's actually stood in for SK Gaming a lot in the past, and as you guys know, one of their other riflers, Pimp, who used to play for SK, he was traded over to Team Liquid earlier this week. They'll be replacing Pimp with a player by the name of Valde. So Glaive and Valde will replace for this weekend Magiskboy and Pimp. He'll be playing for Team Liquid. So yes, SK has a full roster for this weekend of DreamHack Summer, although they will be down Magiskboy, which should be a pretty big hit to the team. And for any of you Finnish CSGO fans out there, the team formerly known as RCTIC, it's actually a Finnish esports organization. They have officially released their CSGO team. It was really sad to see them go. Now, they did release a statement on their Twitter saying, not a lot of people knew exactly why they were releasing their team, but apparently both the team vision and the organization visions just weren't going the right path, and that was word for word the way they released. And in other words, it probably means they weren't willing to pay them enough, or the Finnish team wanted more than they were willing to pay. That's kind of a typical thing to say. Our visions weren't aligned, but that's how they released it in the statement. So unfortunately, their contracts were not re-signed, although RCTIC did hint that they will be signing a different Finnish CSGO team sometime soon in the future. I'm really excited to see who that will be, if it will be another tier 3 or lower team. Really cool to see who they'll pick up in the future. Because one of those teams that a lot of organizations could have picked up a long time ago was Team Mortal Kombat, a team that was formerly known as Team EFrag until that organization disbanded their CSGO team. They then went on to be Team Mortal Kombat for less than a month until Team Orbit picked them up. Why I'm talking about this, it leads into our next story about the possible Team Orbit throw against a team known as the Lowlandlions. Yes, if you guys have never heard about the Lowlandlions, I wouldn't be surprised because they're a very, very small British pug team. Yes, because there aren't very many teams from that British area, and they're not a British tier 2 team, they're not a British tier 3 team, they're lower than that, they're just a pug team, they kind of play for fun, don't really make money for playing this game, and they actually beat Team Orbit, a team who's actually known to not have many losses in the past against these tier 2 or 3 teams, let alone pug teams. Team Orbit, their last loss was actually over a month ago to teams like AGG and Hellraiser. So why I'm bringing this up is the possibility of Team Orbit that they actually threw a game for obviously some sort of profit along the lines. And again, this is all speculation. If you guys don't like when I do speculations, please skip past this story. But a really interesting story because just a couple days ago, Team Orbit faced off against Lowlandlions. Again, Team Orbit, probably a tier 2, tier 3 team. Their last loss was over a month ago to teams like AGG, Team Hellraisers. Those were their last losses. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they took a loss to this British pug team. Again, a very, very low tier team in a best of 3 series. So it wasn't just some, maybe the Lowlandlions got a lucky map pick, they beat them in a best of 1. No, they beat them in a best of 3. And how that series actually broke down was Team Orbit took game 1 pretty convincingly on Dust 2. They beat them 16-7. Then game 2, kind of semi-close, kind of what if you were to set up a team or set up a game, this is kind of what it would look like. It was a 16-12 game on Mirage that Team Orbit lost. It then went to game 3, and then they got destroyed on Overpass, a team map for Orbit where they're not necessarily good on, but they're not bad on it either, and they got destroyed by a British pug team who also doesn't have that much of a map pool as well. They got destroyed on Overpass 16-4, and a lot of people saying that, people who actually watch the VODs, I watched the VODs myself, there were a couple retakes that were kind of skeptical, but it was just an overall beating by Team Orbit, who ended up losing the series best of 3 to Lowlandlions. So again, very, very suspicious here, and I know a lot of people are going to say, Jake, where's your proof? If you watch the VODs, it was a lot of, there were a lot of 3-on-1 retakes by Lowlandlions that went their way, which is kind of crazy to see. And I don't think it'll get caught if it was a throw, unless they are tied to any big bettors that want a lot of money off this. Not much else to say on the topic. I know right now everyone's going to make fun of the way I say Hungary. Is it Hungary or Hungary? Anyway, last in today's CSGO news, if you guys have never heard of CSGOAtse, they're actually a gambling website that offered me an offer a long time ago. I declined it. This is not a sponsored shout out, but they are a gambling organization, and they acquired the team known as GameAgents. They are the GameAgents team. I kind of said that weird. And if you guys have never heard of them before, they're one of the best teams coming out of Hungary. Now, there aren't a lot of competitive teams coming out of that country, but it is still cool to see that CSGOAtse, another gambling website, had enough funds to actually pick up a team, the GameAgents team. So really cool to see there. They have acquired them, and we'll see where they go in the future. I promise I wasn't paid for that. You guys know I don't make anything off YouTube, so please believe me. And last in today's news, guys, I want to overview a quick comment that was on my last video. As you guys know, I touched on the MoeTV scandal and scam that he had with CSGOAtse, where he basically scammed the whole entire community a lot of money because a lot of people probably fell for his tricks, where he actually asked CSGOAtse for bets ahead of time and then got them and made, kind of false money on YouTube videos as well as streams. They mainly over streaming service on Twitch. Now, I do want to touch on this really quick because a lot of people people were mad at me that I had a bias. I know I'm a CSGO news channel, but it's incredibly hard for me to read stories like this and not have a bias, because no matter what Mo says, he commented on my last video, got a lot of upvotes because what he said was partially true. I didn't, fully investigate the story. I'll give him that. Everything I said was not 100% true, but at the very end, the truth is this. Mo took money to fake bets, convincing people that the website was what it was, and it wasn't actually that. He took money from a website to fake bets to convince you to use your own money on a website for his own personal gain. That's not me saying that with a bias. That's me saying what he actually did. One more time, he accepted payment for himself. He took in money, faked bets to make a website look as if it were something that it was not, and he convinced people like you that it was, this website you were going to make a bunch of money on, and odds are a lot of you guys watching this lost some sort of money because of that. So that's all I had to say about that. Mo, I'm sorry if I came out in a rude manner, but what you did is still wrong no matter how I approach it. As always, hope you guys all enjoy. I'm going to start talking like a real human being here. As always, live, love, laugh a lot. Remember, I like you. I'll talk to you guys all tomorrow, or come out the CSGO News episode hopefully sometime soon. As always, live, love, laugh a lot. Remember, I like you. You know what's coming. Goodbye!